So, coming up out of this beautiful campground this morning and off to my adventures. Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. This morning I am charging my batteries while I'm driving into town. I'm gonna park in a nice sunny place to keep the batteries going. And I have a few things that I am excited about seeing. I was talking to the campground host at Mary E, and he gave me some great suggestions. And so I'm gonna see if I can make a couple of them happen, including going to eat today at a place called The Butcher and the Baker. He said that it is a farm-to-table dining establishment, and so I'm kind of excited about that, but I also kind of just wanna check out a few other things in town. And since I am in Telluride, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna soak it all in. I have one more day here, and so I'm gonna see as much as I possibly can. Now, I previously did a video that started out as 5 free things, but turned into 6 free things that you can do here in Telluride. And today, I think I'm gonna take advantage of one of those. I'm gonna take advantage of the shuttle, possibly. We'll see though, we'll see what happens. And I also want to find out about a museum that is here, and if it is open, I'm gonna go visit, and I may do a dedicated video for that. I'm not sure yet, but it's gonna be super fun. I'm very excited, and I'm most excited about sharing more of one of my favorite places with you guys. Of course, you might have noticed in the last video, it rained a little bit last night, so I still have some raindrops, but it turned into a beautiful sunny day. So this is gonna be perfect for exploring this beautiful mountain community. I also really need to go to Mountain Village because I need to grab some water. I don't necessarily need a lot, I just need enough to get me through like tomorrow, and I kind of thought that I had more and then I had to use more of it, and then being at higher elevation, I've been drinking a lot more water to stay hydrated. So I could probably use a gallon. So I'll probably do that maybe first, and then I'll go down into Telluride proper. Mountain Village is where I usually go whenever I need to upload or download or do things because they have Wi-Fi. Now, I'm not super concerned with those things right now though, because after I leave here, I'm gonna go back through Montrose, and Montrose has Starbucks and all the things that I need for supplies at a little bit of a cheaper rate. That's kind of my little pro tip to you guys. If you're coming up to the high country, always get your groceries and supplies before, because you're gonna find them much cheaper in larger communities than you are in these mountain communities. That's just kind of how it works, because it takes more for them to get them up here. And so, you know, gas is going to be more expensive, and then like supplies. So just stock up early and then come up and enjoy. But I do need that water, so I'm going to go on up there, and it shouldn't take me more than like 10 minutes, and I'll just show you around a little bit in the little plaza that you can go into. Plus there's a stop up there right before that is beautiful, and I want to check it out to see what it looks like. The last time I was here, they had fall leaves. Everything is green now, so it should be pretty cool. Okay, so before we go to Mountain Village, I always stop off here just to get a good look. This is the San Juan Skyway, and it's on this really busy road that goes into Telluride, so it's kind of noisy, but you have some of the best views of the mountains here. So I thought I'd show you guys. Every morning, whenever you come from Mary E, you can stop off here, and it just brings you joy because you can hear the rushing water, you can see the beautiful snow-capped mountains. It's kind of like your own version of like little paradise with road noise. You can see here, this is the Keystone Hill Overlook, and it has a map so you can see what all is available, including some of the other campgrounds in the area. And so that's pretty nice to be able to have. This is kind of where I stopped last time, was at the Lizard's Head trailhead area. Right across from that's wherever I camped, and it was really nice, just no service there. And then as you kind of move up here, you can see where the Mary E is. So currently where we are is right here, and we're about to enter into Telluride itself. And then you can go a lot of different places. They have like a town park campground. That one's usually pretty full, and it's a little bit more expensive also. But I have never stayed at the Sunshine or the Matterhorn. So those are things I might check out in the future. Now, this is actually a loop drive. So it's 236 miles that you can go on to see all of these different little communities. And I think that's pretty neat. So you can get all of the information right here. It goes all the way down to like Durango and stuff. So that's pretty neat. But there's also something else down here that I want to share with you guys. Down these stairs and off to more beautiful signs. Like this one that talks about a bank robbery that happened in 1889. And this was the bunch of guys that were from Fort Worth, Texas, that actually included Harvey Logan, Will Carver, Harry Longbaugh, Ben Kilpatrick, and Roy Lee Parker, also known as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Yep, right here in Telluride, there is a history to those guys and a huge bank robbery that happened. This is one of the most brazen robberies that they did. And they got away with, at the time, what would have been about $20,000. That was a huge amount of money, a huge amount of money. In fact, if you adjusted it by today's standards, that was about $500,000, and it happened right here in Telluride. And so that's why you always stop at these kind of places, not only to get the cool maps, but also to know the history. And I think that that is what is awesome, because a lot of people come to Telluride and they see the modern amenities, the gondola, the beautiful, like, state-of-the-art homes and things like that, but they don't realize that this place has a history that has brought it to the point that it is today. In fact, that history includes some of the most notorious outlaws of all time. Wild, right? They also had a lot of different mines in this area, and so as you kind of go around town, you can find all sorts of cool history, which is one of the things that is absolutely free, because a lot of it is marked publicly in the public spaces. However, there is also that museum that I was talking about that I haven't been to before, so I can only imagine there's some interesting stories there too. In addition, there is another sign that talks about the lonesome whistle blow. And across the San Miguel River are remnants of the Rio Grande Southern Railroad, which I have actually seen in a lot of different places along the way. Now, this railroad is no more. However, prior to 1880s, the foothills of the West, including Telluride, were all considered to be Indian territory, and miners with mules were the only things like moving through here. Going back to the past of Telluride, in 1880, they actually forced the indigenous people out of this area and said, you cannot be here. We need to be here for commerce. And again, there's dark history in a lot of these communities, and it's important to address it and realize that long before there were any kind of settlers here, there were people here roaming this area, and I can definitely see why. Even though the winters are very hard, they have the perfect balance of waterways and forests that provide for them. And so here they could have found just about everything that they needed. And then, of course, they would have to hash it out during those hard times. But a lot of the people would kind of migrate into the lower lands and then come back to the higher lands for fishing and being able to hunt and things like that. So in 1880, that all changed, and the railroad was brought to this area to make it an extensively used area for mining. What happened to that railroad, though, when it went defunct? Well, around Telluride, they believe in recycling things and turning them into something great. And so many of those are now used as public use areas for biking and hiking. Of course, one of the things they were definitely looking for was gold in them there hills. And so here they actually dammed the San Miguel River and they started diversion ditches. And doing so, they were able to kind of do these kinds of activities right here, and you can see wooden flumes still used in this area that trace back all the way to those old mine sites. This was called hydraulic mining, using the power of the river to help them to actually find things, and it was somewhat successful. And so today, as we walk around and see beautiful Telluride, think of all of those things. But first, let me show you these views. I know you've been waiting on them. I know. I mentioned them and then I showed you the history first, but let's look at the beauty. I mean, wow, just wow. Incredible forests, beautiful snow-capped mountains, and of course the sound of traffic. Sorry guys. That's just part of it. Again though, this is right before you get into Telluride. Make sure you stop here. It is amazing. I'm going to show you a few more views and cut down some of that nastiness of the road, and that way you can truly soak in the beauty, and then we'll get moving. Now guys, this is Elk Lake, and it's even more spectacular than it was when I visited in fall because there's so many different kinds of birds out here. It's just beautiful. This might be like a small pull-off, but this embodies why I love Telluride, all the nature, all of the beauty. If you just take a moment and stop and sit still for a little while here in Telluride, you'll find all sorts of amazing things. This isn't one of those places that you just want to come for a day. There's no way you can see all of this. Even every time I come here, I discover something new. It's just magical. They even have a picnic table up at the top. That would be great for having like a lunch or breakfast and then having this beautiful view. You know, every morning I've been taking some kind of like beautiful walk. And today, this isn't really as long. It's just a short trail that you go on out to the docks. But man, I love the smell of nature in the morning. We're at the village market in Mountain Village, so I'm gonna go grab some water real quick. Good to know they actually have a refill station. I may come and refill all my water here then before I leave, but for now I'm just gonna go ahead and get the bottle. Just had to brush off my solar panel because I was only getting about 3 watts in. Really hoping that helps. I don't know. It's a bright sunny day, so I should be getting more solar than I am. That's a very low number. Normally that's like a cloudy day number. So that's kind of weird. So it was like $2.99 for this Thunderbird chocolate coconut cashew. And this is a superfood bar, so I thought this would be a good way for me to start off my morning because I did not have breakfast at camp and I'm not quite ready to go to that restaurant just yet. For a few obvious reasons. Number one, I still have to go down to Telluride. Now I could park at the gondola up here and then just ride it down, but I kind of want to go and park at the free parking because I really want to take the river walk again, and I'm very excited about that. This thing looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited. I haven't had this brand. Normally, whenever I try a new bar or something, I'll just grab one, and then if I like them, then I'll buy a bunch and then I'll keep them in the van. But this is really good. So apparently this has 240 calories and it has a lot of good stuff in there, including 5 grams of protein, almonds, coconut, cashew, and pecan. Obviously, with these just like random days in my life, this is kind of what happens. I don't always not have bars with me. In fact, I started out this trip with a few different kinds of bars that I had, some of which Mountain House sent me, and I've been kind of going through those as like my little snacks on days that I'm taking walks and stuff like that, but trying a new one. I always enjoy a good challenge, and normally I'm not a real big pecan fan, but the way that they're kind of ground up in this, it's not so bad. It's not like chunks of pecan that are just like overwhelming. So I'm gonna eat this and then I'm gonna go down to Telluride proper. Okay, I just took the free shuttle and made it to downtown and just enjoying the sights and sounds of everything. It's beautiful here. It's a gorgeous day, and we're gonna see what we can get into. It is lunch hour, so everything is pretty packed. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just walk around and kind of check everything out and show you guys. This is a super dog friendly community and there's lots of stuff to do here. So let's go find some things. Oh my goodness, this is somebody's home, but look at this. This is so gorgeous. Oh, I love this, so charming. So since I'm waiting to eat lunch until a little bit after the lunch hour, I'm currently walking kind of around town in a residential area on my way up to the museum. It is beautiful here. Like, words cannot express how beautiful it is. The homes are gorgeous, the flowers are amazing, and you never know what you'll find here. Okay, I just finished up at the museum and that was so cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, if you guys are interested in the history of Telluride, which is fascinating by the way, make sure that you check out tomorrow's video. I think you'll really enjoy this one. From a doctor who performed surgery on himself to the history of the mining around this area, and then also why some of the community looks the way that it does. It's pretty fascinating. But now I am off back toward the downtown because now I think I'm hungry. I was going to go to the butcher and the baker, which is like completely locally sourced, and it's packed. It's clearly very good. I've gone by there twice. It's been packed both times. So I may have to make a judgment call and go somewhere else, I guess. Goodness, there's another dog-friendly thing. They have little bowls out for everybody. I was shopping in downtown and that has just been delightful. I don't like to film necessarily inside the stores because different people have different filming policies, but oh my gosh, so many cool things. Okay, I just went to lunch. I got some leftovers and that means I have dinner. Other news, it started raining like aggressively while I was eating. So with that said, I'm going to make my way back to the van. Ooh, I'm getting rained on and it is thundering, but I'm really close to Carhinge. So just a little bit further. We made it. 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 Whew. So we started out with rain. We're ending with rain. This has been a crazy day. I really wish I had my towel up here, but I put it away. Great. So I'm just gonna use my sweater and then I'll dry out my sweater. But wow, it was just gently raining the entire trip back from the restaurant and it started thundering, so I knew I needed to get up out of there because let's face it, if it starts thundering it might start raining more. So I was like, okay, I need to walk back to Carhinge as quickly as possible. So my heart rate is apparently up a little bit from what it was whenever I was just regular walking. Understandably so. I just power walked the entire trip back Overall today, I've gone over 20,000 steps, and that is kind of insane because when you're here, you're just exploring. You don't see it as, oh, I'm doing a whole bunch of steps, but you are, and you're doing it at high altitude. So super fun way to spend the day today. I've had a blast. I've done so many cool things, and I cannot wait to see what is going to be next for me. Now, I'm going to be heading out of the Telluride area probably tomorrow morning, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I need to go back to my campsite, do a little bit of research, figure it out, and then after I get that all figured out, then I am going to proceed accordingly. I did find out something kind of unsettling today. One of the places that I previously was when I went to Bishop's Castle, apparently right beside that, there's a huge forest fire now in Beulah, Colorado area. So I think I actually passed through that area. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, huge forest fire. I wish I could send some of this rain toward them because as of the time of this video, there's 0% containment. And that is really concerning because that area was pretty dry, and it's kind of close to like the Wetmore area where it's a lot more like, you guys heard that, right? Yeah. I can also hear that I'm not getting any solar on my battery. Today has been fabulous. I've enjoyed coming along with you guys and showing you part of Telluride, showing you what's here, and just kind of introducing you to a city that's very important to me and has been for a long time. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me, and remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm going to carefully navigate back to camp and just set up shop while it continues to rain, and then for dinner tonight, guess who's having leftovers? I'm so excited. Until next time, guys. Bye.